functional approach to understand society. Talcott Parsons is considered to be a very prominent social scientist, and his ideas are very, very complex to understand. Largely, we can consider him as a system theorist, and he also talks about social action and social system. So he is considered to be a system theorist. But largely, in a broader framework, we can put Talcott Parsons as a functionalist also, because how the system is functional, he is always trying to focus on these aspects. So therefore, he is a functionalist, but his ideas are very, very complex and difficult to understand, as he tries to connect with many, many social aspects, social institutions, social organizations, and social actions, and so on and so forth. The book what Talcott Parsons has written called The Structure of Social Action, The Structure of Social Action, the title itself suggests that how the action has certain structural elements, the structural elements of action. So action and social actions are being defined in many ways by Weber as well as Parsons, and others also talks about social actions. But here he says the structure of social actions. That means each action or each social action has a structural element which it reflects on its own. And the other book what he talks about, the social system. I think these are the two important books. Largely my discussions will be revolving around these ideas of the social system. But the structure of social action in that particular book, he focuses on unit act, how act or how the unit of action is being defined. Clear? But later on in the book called The Social System, he focuses on the institutional orders. These are the two terms you have to remember. One is unit act, or the other one is institutional orders. So the social action, the structure of social action, he focuses on unit act, not unit of act, unit act. The other one he focuses on institutional orders. And while talking about the system, not only institutional orders, but also he talks about it is the primary unit of analysis. That if you want to make the analysis of social system, the primary unit of analysis will be the institutional orders. So you may have a doubt in your mind, sir, what is called this institutional order? That means how there is an orderliness in the society, or how the institutions are being in an ordered manner to exhibit their functions and to fulfill our needs. In the process of fulfilling the need or exhibiting the functions, it is considered to be the process. So therefore, there are 2 points again I will be referring to. One is unit act, which is there in structure of social action. The other one is the social system in that particular book, where he talks about institutional order. While talking about social system, system exhibits functions. That you have to keep in mind. Each system has to exhibit certain functions, therefore they are functional to us. This is the primary point you must have in your mind. So while talking about social system, he can be considered that he is trying to talk about a constructed type. That means social system is a constructed type. What is called constructed type? That means a given situation or a given framework where the system operates. So therefore it is a constructed type. For example, this particular room, it is a constructed type. In a particular design manner it has been designed. So it is a constructed type. So social system is also a kind of constructed type, and you have to act according to the constructed type of that particular system. You can't go beyond this. Suppose you want to put this room, but it has a structure, it has a system, it is a constructed type. So you can't change the type. Clear? You can only change the direction of the table and chair, or you can make some kind of make shifting of this particular room. But the constructed type of this particular room will be there. So social system is just like a constructed type. And why it is constructed type? Because people are getting into this particular social system and they are becoming social. So in that sense, it is called a constructed type. Social system is a constructed type, and the analytical conceptual framework in that particular constructed type exhibit certain functions, but it doesn't make any reference to the empirical situations. There are 2 points again. It is not referring to empirical situation, rather it has been built out of empirical reference. After it has been built, it has become a constructed type. Okay? After a system has been built, so it has become a constructed type, it has become a case, you can say. It has become a framework, you can say. But how does this framework came? Framework came from the social reality. After the framework is developed, so it has nothing to do with the empirical realities. So therefore, it has no reference to empirical reference, rather it has been built upon empirical references. So it is an open system. Again, it is creating some kind of confusion, but nothing to be confused. It is a constructed type. It is a framework. This framework has nothing to do with the empirical reference, but it has been built upon empirical references or built on empirical situations. And it is just like a kind of open system in continuous balancing its crucial elements are conditions, needs and functions which manifest themselves in total action process. I'll repeat this sentence again, don't worry. Social system just like an open system which is continuous, and it is continuously making the balance between the elements of its conditions and the needs and functions. Social systems are open systems, but while it operates in an open system, it tries to always maintain a continuous balancing. Balancing between what? Balancing between the conditions, the needs and the functions. And all this balancing act of needs and functions, they manifest themselves in total action process. You try to understand this in this particular manner, that it's an open system which tries to make a continuous balance. For example, this particular class, those who have taken admission, for them it is an open system. Open system in the sense that you can come and study, you can meet the teachers, you can use the library, you can use the hostel facilities. Clear? So, and if you don't come also, nobody much bothers about it. And if you feel like you can come, if you don't feel like, nobody is going to ask, isn't it? So it is just like an open system. But through these open systems, certain conditions are being framed. Each interactions or each action is conditioned with certain reference to certain framework. If you want to make the system functional, if the people wants to fulfill their needs, they need to be conditioned in a particular manner, though it is open system. So therefore, Parsons trying to refer that social system is a kind of open system, and through these open systems, it has crucial elements of conditioning, means there are certain conditions which needs to be fulfilled, and by fulfilling the conditions, your need will be satisfied, and that will be exhibit certain functions. Clear? They manifest themselves in total action process. That means the entire action process will be manifested through these conditioning, through these needs, through these functions, through this open system. Though it is open system, it is conditions. Though it is conditions, it fulfills certain needs. Though it is fulfilling certain needs, by fulfilling certain needs, it exhibits certain functions, and it manifests in total action process. That means your entire action process is being manifested by these many factors. Clear? That means your action, what you do as an individual, is conditioned with many societal prerequisites, or conditioned with many societal imperatives, or conditioned with many societal impulses, or it is conditioned with many societal aspects which involves. And Talcott Parsons is trying to phase out or trying to give a classification of all these aspects. And while making these classifications, he talks about that social system has certain features and characteristics, and these are the classification of social system, meaning thereby the social system operates in this particular manner. And what is the purpose of social system? To manifest total functions or to manifest total action processes is the purpose of social system. Is this clear? For example, the purpose of total action process, for example, is education. But how education can be communicated, how education can be given, how education can be handled. And there are certain conditioning, there are certain rules, there are certain regulations, there are certain values, there are certain beliefs, there are certain attitudes, there are certain parameters on the basis of which this education is given. And it is a total aspect, no, it is a total action process involves many things. Education doesn't mean that teacher will come to the class and deliver lecture, that is education is over. No, it has many conditional aspects, and these conditional aspects on its own in many ways or in a different ways tries to contribute towards total action processes. And he tries to talk about what is called the social system. And how do we understand social system? The social system which exhibits certain conditions and functions, it needs to be understood having 3-4 major characteristics and aspects. You know, the first point what Talcott Parsons is trying to say, that it involves, that means social system or system of action, actually social system and action system both goes hand in hand. You can't separate each other. Social system linked with social action. Clear? Is this clear? What is action and what is social action and how it is linked to social system? If it is not clear, let me give you an example. You know, what is action, for example? You know, action, it can be said like this, that a particular person who is suppose chanting mantras and doing certain pujas and certain things. So, but while doing this, it exhibits certain functions. And there are other followers maybe around those who tries to follow him. So therefore, there is a religious system which operates that how this action or these rituals can be performed. So there is a system like religious system, and there is an action which is defined according to that particular system, and you do such actions accordingly in a religious manner to fulfill the religious function or religious need of the society or religious need of the individuals. Is this clear? Action and system are linked together. You can't separate. Because the actions, for example, I am delivering the lecture because I am linked with a particular system. And accordingly, I am doing my duties. So if you are a student, so you are also exhibiting certain functions, but you are also linked with a particular system. Clear? So that is the point I am trying to say. Action and system are linked together. So to understand social system, a system of action has certain characteristics, has certain features. What are these features? Talcott Parsons is trying to say that it involves a process of interaction between 2 or more actors. Again, I am coming to the point, actors, and there are 2 or more than 2 actors. When more than 2 actors, they continuously interact here, then only you can think about action, then only you can think about social system. So actors, they must act, and the act must have more than 2 individuals. Doing anything isolation may not be called as social action, because action has to be made in consonance with others. Or what Talcott Parsons, the language he used, actions in constellation. That this is the original word he used, action in constellation. That is called social actions. That means action in a group manner, in a group phenomena, where more than 2 individuals are there and they interact with each other. This is the first point. Interaction between two or more actors. Here, actors, he used the term actors, but it is about individuals. And he talks about actors and alter. He talks about alter and actors. So I'll be talking about these two. So actor means individuals, alter means other individuals. But the term he used, actor and alter. So the first point is that action system has more than two individuals. They interact between themselves. Number two, while interacting, they try to focus on the attention of each other. The interaction process as such is a focus of the observer's attention. That means while these two individuals are interacting with each other, try to be attentive to each other. That means you must, for example, in a religious kind of situation, if mantra is being chanted, but you have been asked to put some ghee or put some flowers or put some something like this. That means you have to respond what has been said or what has been told. Suppose I am delivering a lecture, if students will not be attentive, they will not listen to me, or they will not regular, so that it will create a problem. So that is the point. He is saying that interaction process as such is focus of the observer's attention. That means the other persons must draw the attention of the other people. Unless until you draw the attention of other people, it cannot be a social action, or it cannot be part of social system again. So interactions, while interacting, there should be two or more than two individuals. Number three, they must try to be attentive to each other.